How many face tattoos do you have at this point?
34.
And I do have a mirror on the side if you need it.
I believe 5, maybe 6.
And for time reference, it's November 2021 now. Are you able to share the meanings behind any of your face tattoos with us today?
Yeah. Archangel Michael. A Roman depiction of my zodiac, Aquarius. Saint John. The symbol for Saturn. And then under it is a crow.
Now, when it comes to your face tattoos, any significance on the location of these face tats? Any reason why some are on the right side, some are on the left side, maybe some is towards the top of your face on your forehead, that sort of thing?
The placements, there's no real reason. That's just why I want them.
Do people mistake any of these face tattoos for something else?
Oh, for sure.
What do they get mistaken for?
Shit, gang shit. Mostly prison niggas be like looking at this shit and like just wondering what the fuck, either what I'm in or what the fuck I'll be on.
Ever done prison time?
Nah, hell nah.
Ever been part of a gang?
Hell yeah.
Are any of these gang tattoos?
No. Hell nah.
Do you remember the order of your face tats? Which
Uh,
one you got first, second, third, fourth, that sort of thing?
I started out with the Roman depiction of my zodiac, which is Aquarius. And then I just started feeding into it. The St. John, and then back to this side, motherfucking me the crow and the symbol Saturn, and then Archangel Michael. Again, there's no particular placement why I want them there, just that's why I want them.
What age back then were you? Well, let me back up. Which one was your first face tat?
I believe it was either Archangel Michael or is the Roman depiction of my zodiac.
Do you remember what age you were back then at the time of that tattoo?
22, 23, maybe 24. Somewhere between 22 and 24.
Now, you do have tattoos on other parts of your body, not just your face.
Yes, sir.
Which came first, the face tattoo or a tattoo on your body?
The body test came first.
Which one was your first tattoo ever on your body?
The one on my wrist, it says self-made. I got that when I was like 19. I was going through some stupid shit. And I really set my mind on just that basic ass pronoun or whatever you want to call it.
A phrase.
Yeah.
When it came to your face tattoos, did you use the same tattoo artist for all of them?
Yes.
Care to shout that person out or share who it is?
Yeah, shout out Jose. Even though I don't fuck with you, but shout him out, man. I ain't gonna deny the work, but yeah.
And why don't you mess with him anymore?
He tried to, this motherfucker tried to traffic me. He tried to knock me out and put me in the trunk and take me across somewhere, I don't know. But that motherfucker know what he did, or what he tried to do.
How'd you get out of that situation?
Out of 357, and I told him to take me home when I figured out what the fuck he was doing. He still ain't meant to this day what he was doing, but I already knew what the fuck he was doing. Cause, what was the question again, my bad?
No, I wanted to know how you got out of that situation
Oh,
of
yeah,
possibly being trafficked.
I put out, we were at a tattoo shop, I put out 357, one of his partners was threatening to put me in the trunk and shit. At first I was smoking a blunt out front of the shop, and the dude walked up on me. I booked at him, and he flinched back and put his arms up. But before that, he was watching me walking back and forth to shit, and when I went to go confront Jose about it in the shop, cause I pulled the pistol on the other Mexican at first, and I steroid through. I went to the shop to get Jose just to see what the fuck going on, and this nigga playing like he don't know what's going on and shit when he part of the whole bullshit that's going on in the first place. But I'm saying I pulled a pistol out and I made this motherfucker take me home. The first guy pulled a pistol on that was outside and I was smoking. When I pulled it on him, I said, stay right there. Really before I said, stay right there, because I was finna go in the shop and grab that bitch out the dresser drawer. But he started pacing across the street. Cause I don't know if he feared for his life or what the fuck he was doing or what he was thinking. But yeah, man, I went into the shop, confronted him there, he played stupid as fuck. I told him, take me fucking home. He got in the car. Surprisingly, my motherfucker got in the car, me threatening him with a pistol and shit. And this nigga took me home. But after that, I ain't said one word to him. And ever since then, it's weird as fuck.
And when it comes to Jose, where does he do tattoos at?
Somewhere on the north side and forward.
Ever met a tattoo artist that wouldn't tat your face?
Yeah, before I even met this man, I would go into different shops, and mostly white people shops, because I needed to be small and detailed, whatever, you know. And they usually overcharge, but they gonna do it right. But they try to tag me. I said, fuck, nah. That's when I ran to Jose, because I was going shop hunting and shit.
Any regrets or remorse on any of your face tats?
Fuck, nah.
Why not?
I am who I am. I'm not afraid to be myself. I don't need face tats to be myself. But I'm a bold ass person. Like, I don't pander to nobody. I don't give a fuck what nobody think. I just do me. If that's a problem, then you go fuck yourself. But
Ever covered up or removed a face tat?
nah.
Do you follow a religion?
I don't follow a particular religion. I'm into all of them, like theology. So like all the religions in the world and what they mean and what it comes down to and all that other shit. But I don't choose and pick. I might go into one religion and study it or whatever, but I'm not like religious. I just like or want to know the truth and everything. And that's one way of going about it.
And what led to this line of thinking for you?
Honestly, I put that up with God. I think of from my vessel every day who I am, my personality, my character, my soul. I would say it's because I'm a Deacon 1 Aquarius, but I don't want motherfuckers to flip out and start saying stupid shit. Because cosmology, astronomy, and astrology, those are very real things. It's a science. But I don't want to go into detail about that shit because a lot of motherfuckers bring up horoscopes and certain shit that don't make really much sense.
And for you, was this how you were raised? Were you raised to follow these elements here?
I wasn't.
Okay.
Most of the people around me when I was raised, they didn't treat me right. They took care of me, but they didn't treat me right, if that makes sense. Or vice versa, it went both ways. But I met resistance with my family, everybody my whole life. It ain't nothing new.
Were you raised to follow a religion?
My father was very religious, but he tried to incorporate that into me and my brother. But me, I'm a very independent thinker. And when you try to force information on me and shit, that made me turn a whole other way.
What religion was he trying to raise you as?
I think
or under?
Like a Christian or something like that.
Was it a certain denomination under Christianity?
Nah.
At what point in your life do you divert from that raising of Christianity to these elements that you mentioned, theology, this line of thinking you have? At what point in time did that happen for you?
I think when I was like 15, 16, 17, kind of stopped listening to everybody and just kind of studying. And I'm very studious. So like I'll go in a room and just read a bunch of books or get on the internet and just read a lot of shit that I think is important. It's not frivolous. That has meaning, you know?
What was the reaction from your father to that line of thinking?
Motherfuckers to beat the shit out of me. But he ain't never agree with none idea, really. The motherfucker just want me to do what he want me to do. A lot of people could say about their parents, but I got a fucked up family, man. So, like, my father, if I wouldn't listen to his result was putting hands on me and some shit like that, you know? It was usually physical violence or just some threatening ass shit that made me fall into place, you know?
What's your relationship with him at this point?
Choppy as fuck. We don't talk much. He pop up in my life, you know? But, I don't really fuck with him. Now, I will say, this last year, he popped up and he did a few things for me. But it took a lot. It took a lot of time for me to even look the man in his face because this shit even put me through. But I don't blame him for who I am. And like, I don't walk through life with a chip. I have a chip on my shoulder, but I don't be walking through life with a chip on my shoulder because of that motherfucker or this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
Care to share what that chip on your shoulder is, if it's not a particular person?
Man, I really believe that in my family, I've been chosen by God to. So, everyone in my family is fucking struggling. I'm the only one who carries myself highly, who holds everyone to a higher standard, who expects better from everybody. What was the question again? I apologize.
No, I was wondering what this chip on your shoulder was, if it wasn't because of a specific person.
Man, it's a compilation of life events from a kid to now. Just fuck shit. From being bullied, jumped, I've been shot at, stabbed, done same shit to other people. Motherfucking me. I've just been through certain shit that I know. Can you ask that again? My bad, bro.
No, it's not a problem. I asked you what this chip on your shoulder was because you said it wasn't because of a specific person, it was something else.
It's a lot of shit, man. I would just say it's a compilation of life events from people to my personal game for success to and mostly family and just people, you know. And really at the end of the day, it's not about them. Chip on my shoulder, I don't really have that no more. You know what I'm saying? People like that are just bitter and fucked up. But I do have a chip on my shoulder. It'll never go away. It's just who I am. Really. That's all.
You mentioned your father in this interview. What happened to your mother?
My mother is good. She's not innocent either. But I love her to death.
Are they together?
Nah. They divorced when I was young. Yeah.
What age were you at the time?
Between 12 and 16, something like that. Yeah.
Do you know why they split?
Just a bad chemistry, total opposites. My mother white. She from Detroit. My father black. He from Louisiana. When they met, she was just like my mom real rebellious. So back then you didn't fuck with no niggas or you didn't go out with black people tight like that. It was very odd, and if you did, you were just one of them people. But I'm saying my mom, I feel like she got with my father to spite her father because he was racist as fuck. But I wouldn't say he was racist. He was just he old school as fuck. So that's how you were raised and born. And so you would just say shit and do shit. But I'm saying I feel like she got with my father to like spite him. My mom is real weird. Like she be doing shit like that. I don't know if it's a female trait or if it's just a personal psychological thing or what. But I'm sure there's shit I don't know why they're not together and shit. But for the most part, I just see why they're not together. You know, through experience.
And who'd you end up living with after the split?
Man, every 1 or 2 summers, for 4 summers, they pushed me back and forth. The one they want to do with me, they send me over to the other one. Sometimes my mom would say, hey, you're going to visit your father for the summer after school or whatever. And then I call her the 3rd or 2nd month, before we go back, and she talking about, nah, you're not coming back home with the dude. Because she knows, like, if she find out that she leave me up, if she find out I know she leaving me over there, she know I'm not going to leave her. She know I'm going to make it hard for her. I'm going to throw a fucking fit, you know, curse out or whatever. Not curse at her, but just get heated with her, and she know it's not right.
All right. Now, you mentioned a few things that have happened to you. Been shot at but never hit.
Oh, hell no.
Been stabbed how many times?
Once. Potentially 3 times, but one time I actually got sliced.
Is that something you can explain or share?
I was at a bar, and motherfucker was with a clique of people. And these days, gangs are not gangs. You know what I'm saying? It's just cliques of people, like little cliques everywhere. They don't got no OGs. They ain't been jumped in. They ain't done no shit to get where they got. They just self-proclaimed as what they are. I'm saying it was one of these moments I was in a bar with some homeboy, and it was like a clique of people who didn't agree with the people I was with, but I don't give a fuck about all that. I'm with who I'm with, and usually I stay away from people who got beef on third party outside circumstances, but I guess I had a problem with my partner, but I stepped in front of him because he was already fucked up, and we were at a bar. You don't be doing no shit like that in a bar. I mean, where you gonna get in at when you do that shit? But he pulled out a knife, I showed him, and then he slashed my shit. So, right here, it's a fucking scar. It's like a L upside down. Luckily, it didn't go through, because whenever he did the shit, I kind of like, I don't know, when he sliced, I like turned my hand. But I felt like if it was up like that, it would've went in or some shit like that. But the way it went out, it didn't go through.
You said potentially 3 times. Was that in the same circumstance or that was different circumstances?
Different circumstances.
This particular time when you got stabbed, for someone watching this that's never felt that before or never experienced that before, what does that actually feel like?
Well, I got slashed. I didn't get stabbed.
Okay.
But it kind of felt like a burn. Like before it scabbed up, it would always just air hit it, the shit would hurt, or take a shot, that shit would burn, whatever, you know? It didn't feel good.
Do you know what it was that actually slashed you?
Oh, it was a knife. It was a 6-inch knife, a blade. It was a fucking pocket knife. Kind of like what I got over there, but it was his own shit. That's kind of why I carry my own shit now.
When this situation occurred, did you see him pull the knife out? Did you know there was a knife in this occurrence, or you didn't know until you felt it?
I didn't know until he pulled it out and slashed. I mean, I knew he had a knife because he was pulling out the spot and you could see a shiny object and shit, and he was just bucking. But when I stepped in front of my homeboy, that's when he just slashed down on my shit. And I put my hand up, and when I put my hand up and just like the deflected shit and go on my right side, fucking cut my shit. But I didn't really feel it until the commotion was done when we just at the bar.
How did you prevent from getting stabbed or further slashing or stabbing attempts?
First off, don't nobody just be fucking with me. Don't nobody just be out trying to stab me and shit like that. You got some balls, bro, to do some shit like that. Because they know I'm a hothead, so like, ain't nobody finna just do some shit to me. But to prevent that, I won't be in no fucking bars. And I shouldn't have been there in the first place.
No, not to prevent that. I'm saying you got slashed once in this occurrence.
Yes, sir.
How did you prevent from getting slashed or stabbed even more from the same person during this scenario?
Fucking bounces. There's like 3 bounces at the club or the bar. Downtown 7th Street, it's called Library Bar. Yeah.
So security got a hold of him before he could keep stabbing you some more or attempting to stab you or slash you some more.
Once he did it once, everybody was already watching. We was already big commotion, but the bouncer stepped in between us and just showed us apart. And we just clashing. But whatever, I wasn't really clashing, bro. I just like, that nigga just cut my shit. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't nothing that serious.
Were you leaking?
It was dripping, but it wasn't just pouring out, you know? It was a solid ass gash, yeah.
What did you do to heal from the slash? Did you go to an urgent care, an emergency room, see a doctor of some sort?
Hell no. Just motherfucking me cleaned it up, took a shower, Paper towels, peroxide, motherfucker me, and let it air and put a Band-Aid on it. Same shit for like a week, maybe 2 weeks before it starts scabbing and everything.
When it comes to being a hothead, is that something that you've seen a professional about?
When I was a kid, I had sharp anger outbursts. And my mom had me in that whole facility, somewhere in Granbury or something like that, for counseling. Like, not no school counseling, like a whole paid building where you go and meet every week. It's a giant gym with carpet, like giant stress balls and all this other shit in there you can play with. And they kind of ask you questions, kind of like, you doing? It's like, how you been? What are you doing? What's on your mind? How do you feel today? All this weird shit. And they have you do like little mind, they have you write stuff down, they ask you questions, they just explore your brain and just, I don't know if it's like a process that gets you to leak the negative. I don't know what the whole science behind this shit is, but I was definitely in a lot of counseling, man. I was also in a Big Brother, Big Sister program, because my father, or my mom, I didn't have a father figure, so my mom, she felt like I needed one. So I was enrolled with that guy for like 6 years. He would like come and visit me on holidays, give me gifts, take me to church and shit like that. Whenever I wasn't like crazy as fuck. But even then, I don't even talk to that man no more because he's such a good, honest person that back then I just felt bad being around him. But a total respect for that guy right now. His name Nicholas Visentiner. He's a good person. But yeah, man.
But in essence, he was trying to help you.
Oh, for sure. He'd already been in that program before. I even was signed up with him as a big brother. But for sure, the man was an honest, living. He had a family. You know, he was an engineer for American Airlines. So like, he was a solid, you know, working man. He did what's right in every form or fashion.
Sounds like a role model.
For sure. Back then, I didn't feel that way. Called punk. But I look at it now as a more mature person. That's a real man. Take care of his family and working a good job.
Do you regret that? Do you wish you would have handled that big brother relationship a little bit different or scenario a little bit different? Looking back at how things played out?
I plan on reaching out to him one day. Just thanking him for everything, for the positive influence he put around me and all of this shit.
Now, let's say somebody's watching this and they're in a similar circumstance. Maybe they have a big brother, big sister, much in the same way as you did. Role model figure, trying to help them, that sort of thing. And what do you say to somebody that is similar in your shoes at that age you were at that time, having a big brother? Now, of course, circumstances could be different for everybody, but let's say somebody's watching this in a similar scenario. What do you say to that person right now watching this? If anything. And if nothing, that's okay too. But
if someone wants to be in your life and they want to help you change for the better, don't block them out. Don't do them wrong. Don't, you know, karma it's not vindictive. Karma is just a balance of things. So like, you do someone wrong, karma not gonna come do you wrong. It's just gonna balance out the scales of what's going on. Again, if someone is in your life and they're trying to help you be a better person in all ways, don't fuck that up. Because one day you're gonna regret how you treated that person. And that goes both ways. For me and for whoever was watching. So that's real shit.
Anything else you want to say in regards to that scenario there? Big brother, big sister program?
It was a great program. I was a punk, so I was like, fuck this, fuck that, you know what I'm saying? What the world, I don't give a fuck about all this shit. I was pretty much pissing on this motherfucker. But this guy, like, no matter what, he would just do the right thing. He would be there. He understood as a man, you know, what I needed in my life. And I didn't understand. But I did know, I just didn't understand. So he just gave me, like, that insight. And it's fucked up because I don't talk to him now. But if he's seen this or if I go to him one day, I'm pretty sure he won't be surprised.
If he is watching this interview by chance, anything you would say to him?
I love you, Mr. Nick. I appreciate everything. Thank you for you and your family.
Now, what about the counseling? Did that help back then?
Back then, it just felt like a waste of time. It gave me headaches. It was annoying as fuck. But I look at it now, and I'm like, damn, I need counseling. Cause I be going through shit, and I still be having my little moments. But it's definitely beneficial. You just can't be ignorant about it. At first, you know, you're gonna be resistant. I don't promote counseling, you know. But if you have psychological shit that you're going through and you're just reflecting on everybody, then you should probably get a psychologist or counselor, man. I was young though, so it was really administered to me, and not nothing I did on my own. So my family, people in my life felt like I needed all that shit.
What about anger management? Ever had anger management?
I just meshed that in with counseling, cause that was the only reason I did that shit. Like I had sharp out, like I get mad real fast, and I feel pain in my heart. Like I feel like a sharp pain in my heart, and I get mad, and it's real sudden, and I feel it in my head and in my heart. I used to get mad over stupid shit, and I just go off, or just have little flash anger moments, and then really my people they're like, this nigga bipolar as fuck, like, and try to diagnose me, try to give me my medication, all this shit, but what the fuck all that. I don't really I feel like that stuff dumb you down if you not an independent thinker. It can have an effect on your thinking process and who you are and shit. It'll make you a zombie, or it'll make you a docile, or what's the word where you're very conforming or conformative. It just ain't right. It's just not right to me.
Now, this bipolar diagnosis, was this by a professional? Were you diagnosed bipolar by a professional, or is this more like an assessment somebody that was unprofessional had given to you?
My mom, she was an EMT for MedStar for like almost 8 years, some shit like that. But before, she had me and my brother on medications. I didn't take them though. I didn't want to take, for ADHD and shit like that. But for the other stuff you're talking about, bipolar, I've never been diagnosed by saying, I mean, I think when they prescribed us medications for my anger shit and trying to focus in school when I didn't give a fuck about none of that shit. Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
When it comes to bipolar disorder, was that something you were diagnosed by a professional, or?
Nah. The ADHD, yeah. But I thought that was all sort of under the same category, but I could be wrong, for sure.
Repeat that one more time, I'm sorry?
Definitely ADHD, but the bipolar disorder, I assume that was all in the same category, meshed in different little sections, but I'm not really sure. So, I don't know. But no, I've never been diagnosed professionally for bipolar disorder.
But ADHD you have?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Is that something that you still battle with, or is that something you've overcome?
I don't even believe everybody got ADHD, bro. It's just, there's a big pharmaceutical thing out there. Motherfuckers just trying to cash grab on vulnerable families and shit. Like, if you're not solid in your head and you don't think for yourself and articulate and dissect certain information, that shit will fuck you up, man. That shit will get you lost in the sauce. On the Google.
Go ahead.
No, I forgot the question.
Well, I was wondering if you were, I was wondering, when it came to your ADHD diagnosis, I wondered if that's something you still battle with, or was that something you were able to overcome?
I think I overcame that shit. I mean, you might have these little moments, but I think everybody got ADHD. It's like everybody got cancer from the sun, you know? But there's just certain degrees of who has that shit, like stage 1 to 5 or whatever. Certain seriousness levels to all that shit.
Now, where does this voice come from?
All right, so my father, he has a deep voice. So I be telling people it's genetics. Just simply put. If you heard him talk, he has a very deep voice. And he's loud too. But yeah, I put it down to genetics.
Who has a deeper voice, you or your father?
Oh, I might have a deeper voice than him. I might. but I ain't never compared my voice to his like that. His voice deep. It's just not as hollowed out, if that makes sense. Or it's not like when he speak with his chest. I speak with my chest, but his voice is more whole when he speak. Mine's like cracked out and shallow, or not shallow, or hollow. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense.
Do you have any other siblings, same mother, same father as you?
I have one brother, we're 2 years apart. That's my best friend.
Younger, older?
They're my younger brother. But I don't look at him behind me or hitting me, I look at him beside me.
How did his voice turn out?
He has a deep voice too. They're just not as deep. And also, like, I record a lot of music, so like, when you have a voice, you don't change it, or you don't manipulate it, or you don't force it a certain way, but you kind of tone it, or you kind of articulate or orchestrate it. I'm not saying, like, well, I'm telling you right now, it's all natural. But for a while, when I was making music, I became more conscious of my voice. And I was like on the microphone and shit, you can really hear your voice and how you're putting out words and emphasis on certain parts and all this shit.
When did you realize you had this deep of a voice? Was it a certain age or certain grade you hone in onto it?
Probably in middle school, beginning of high school. I mean, it's always deep. It just, I mature, you know what I'm saying, go through a growth spurt, balls up, all this shit, You just grow through a process. I wouldn't put it all on me personally. Like, I think it was just genetics, and then I had a few growth spurts or whatever.
What was the reaction to your voice as you were growing up? From other classmates?
I used to pronounce shit differently. I'm better now. But they just say the same shit, or they will mimic. Like I used to say Bobby, like my real name Bobby, but I would say Bobby, and they would. It's not even nothing really different, bro. The motherfuckers stupid as fuck, and they like picking this shit out. When they don't got nothing major to do. But yeah, go ahead, man, my bad.
So were you teased for your voice, or just the way you said certain words?
Mainly for the way I said certain shit. But I wouldn't say I tease, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a little bitch, bro. I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm not no punk or nothing, but I'm saying, like, motherfuckers who just not on shit be around you and you happen to speak around them or whatever. And some people always got an opinion on shit. So they'll say some shit to me and, boy, your voice deep, or why you sound like that? Or they'll copy you, hey, Bobby, you know what I'm saying? Just stupid shit.
When it comes to your voice, was that something you were ever embarrassed about?
Fuck no. Hell no. It's different. I recognize that. Maybe too late. And it's a signature in a way.
Having this deep of a voice, what's the best and worst aspect of it, if anything? So best thing about having this deep voice and worst thing about having this deep voice. Has there been a scenario, something significant in your life that happened? Really glad you had this deep voice, and maybe the opposite. Man, I wish I didn't have this voice because so-and-so. Best and worst aspect of having this deep voice.
The best thing on an egotistical level, it would probably be females or women. They love that shit. But on like a logical, just not an egotistical thought way, when I was growing up, I didn't have enough credits to graduate, but that's not why I kicked out for truancy. But I'm saying, they had put me in electives. They had put me in theater. They put me in choir. In 6th grade, I was in choir and theater, freshman. I was in, I think 4th or 5th grade, we had a music class. All these things I didn't appreciate, but they align with my purpose today. So I feel like back then I didn't really hone in on it when I was real young. When I got to a certain age, I started recognizing shit. I started honing in on this shit. Like I said, I back then I used to look at it differently, but now it's not a bad thing, man. It's a unique. I thank God for a unique voice.
Has there ever been an issue, though, on the worst end of things? I'm just throwing something out where, again, maybe you wish you didn't have this voice for a scenario such as this. Maybe you're in the library and you have to have library voices.
All right, so.
And then maybe you don't have a library voice and you got in trouble for it. I don't know. I'm just throwing out an example. Has there been a scenario or, I don't know, maybe...
Yeah, man. Anytime I argue with somebody, nigga, you loud as fuck, and they trying to one-up, we be, you know what I'm saying? I do be getting loud as fuck, and that's probably the only thing. Because when I get upset, I get real loud. But I don't gotta be loud, because really I'm quiet in person. I don't be just talking and shit like that.
When it comes to music, what have people in the music community or music industry said about your voice?
So you have people who don't know shit about music speaking on it, and then you have people who do know somewhat or have a lot of knowledge or information on music. It's usually the ignorant motherfuckers who are like, why you use your voice like that? Why are you doing that? This and that, whoop. And then you have other motherfuckers who are a little more educated or are educated in the same field, and they fuck with it. It's just right now with I call them my people, I don't call them my followers. There's a disconnect. I'm not really sure why. And that's part of me for being here too. Sort of to exploit myself moving and speaking, because I need to promote myself visually more. I have 16 album EPs, man. Over 200 something songs. I spent years and years behind the scenes, man. But I'm saying to that relevancy, can you ask me what you asked? I'm sorry, Brent.
Yeah.
I'm real bad at that, too.
I asked you what people in the music community or music industry have said about your voice.
Most people fuck with it. And then the people who don't know shit about it, they just speak on shit. I don't hold no weight on it. That's all that is.
What do you say to somebody watching this, maybe another male out there, that has a deep voice just like you, if not deeper? Anything you would say? Any advice? Of course, circumstances could be different for everybody, but generally speaking here, anything you would say to somebody watching this in a similar position as you? They may or may not be doing music, but they've got this deep voice.
Shit, get into movie production or some shit like that. They love motherfuckers with deep voices. To like record commercials and shit like that. They could use that shit. I don't do that shit because I'm music 100% focused. But it would be smart for me to engage in that shit because there are other forms of pay on the side, like side hustles and shit like that. But if you have a deep voice, bro, you better rock with this shit and do something with it. You know what I'm saying?
When you were at a younger age in your life, and maybe somebody didn't get a chance to see what you look like in real life. So, for example, maybe you were on the phone with a customer service rep for a company, and you would talk to them with this voice. Did they think you were older than you were? Did people ever mistaken you for an adult when maybe you were a teenager with this voice?
If they don't see my face.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you're, like I said, maybe you're in a scenario where you're talking to someone on the phone, trying to get some information on a restaurant or something like that, and maybe they referred to you or thought you were an adult, and maybe you were a minor at the time. But based on your voice and the deepness of your voice, they assumed you were an adult, for example. Maybe they assumed you were a grown man when maybe you were still a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
Did that happen at all
Not
growing up?
Not when I was a teenager. But, I mean, yeah, like working jobs and shit, yeah. People, like, damn, your voice is deep or whatever. Or they just have something small to say about it. because they can't help but not say something, you know, when they're in my face.
And for time reference, it's November 2021 now. Anything else you would say in regards to your voice? Anything I didn't ask people want to know about your voice?
I need people to tap in. Fuck with me, do it. Like, lock in the shit I be doing. Know what I'm saying? I work hard at everything I do. I don't bullshit. Know what I'm saying? And let that be an inspiration to other people too, you know? I'm not no fucking hater. I don't stop nobody from getting no money. Know what I'm saying? I'm really just an example. That's all, man. Kind of like a conduit or a vector of information.
Ever met someone aside from your own siblings, parents, family, with just the deepest voice as you, if not deeper, in real life? Or are you the deepest voice you know?
I mean, there's people with deep voices. I don't think I have the deepest voice. Some people have, like, deep-ass voices. They just throw it off or just weird, you know? Or they're just normal-ass people with deep voices. But, nah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really meet people with the same level of deepness or whatever, you know? It's very rare, actually. But people who have deep voices, they're just, everyone's voice is different. Sound frequencies, vibrations and shit.